when we talk Manchester United invariably on the show, Mick, at the moment it's all about Ten Hag. But we also talk a lot, do we not, Simon, about Marcus Rashford. What Marcus Rashford is going to turn up next time United play. Now you're sitting nodding and you're smiling. But you know where I'm going with this.
I'm the same as a coach or an ex-player. I understand situations players get into because I've been one. You know, it can be chaotic. There's a lot going on, especially in the world we live in now with brands, player brands now. They're bigger than probably the player sometimes. I think translating that from training ground to football pitch has been a difficult one for Marcus. You know, he had a great season, scoring lots of goals, looking as though everything's really going to light up, and probably one of the best forwards in Europe, to actually not finding his feet. Suddenly it's like, what's gone wrong, if anything's gone wrong? And a lot of things probably have crept into Marcus's way of thinking. You know, he's had on-field and off-field issues. They've been documented. I don't need to go into them. But he's certainly talented individual who needs to improve. That's the thing. You never stand still. And I think at this moment in time, he's probably stood still, relied on certain strengths that he's got, but find some more. You know, work a little bit at it, find a way through the chaos that he finds himself in and come out the other side. It's happened. We can talk about lots of players. Harry Maguire, fantastic player at the time he was at Manchester United and has come through adversity. And he's still showing resilience to get through that. And I think that's a credit. That's what you have to have. In the big clubs, big moments, times when it's not going well, you have to have resilience.
How does Rashford react when he's told, we need more from you? Give us more. Get better.
Well, you definitely have to enjoy yourself within the building. You have to enjoy yourself on the training ground, but then you have to translate that into having fun on the football field. It's the best place ever to be, is on the football field. It's better than sitting in the stands. It's better than sitting in the dugout.
Sure.
Is being a player.
Sure.
That's the one thing all ex-players would say they miss. So those moments in time have to be enjoyed. You have to have fun. You have to enjoy being there. You have to enjoy taking on the challenges. I don't know. You know, a lot of people translate body language, and we have body language coaches now in football clubs. Yeah. You know, and everybody can lip read now, and we have lip readers now in football.
That's why you're talking
so we all sort of look at it as though he's not enjoying his game because his body language is down or dour. But you know, Marcus is in this environment or this generation of players where part of that is your brand. It's part of who you are now. Let's not smile too much, you know. I still love smiling now, you know. Yeah. There's pictures of me playing at Man United in finals, and I'm loving every minute of it because I'm blessed to be there, you know. So I'm smiling and laughing. I don't know how I'm playing, but I'm enjoying the moment.
Do you know, that's such a good point, isn't it? It costs nothing to smile and enjoy it.
I mean, I don't look at it.
Enjoy it.
I don't look at it whether he smiles or not. I look at what his performances are, and I look at what he thinks his responsibilities are. And when I see a player that goes out to China Whites on the day that your team have just been smashed into the next life by Man City, and then goes out and misses training because he's gone on a drinking spree in Ireland, I think to myself, what's happening here? Why is this player, A, think he can do that? What's happening at Man United where a player thinks he can do that? And B, why does he walk around like it's impending doom? I don't think it's a brand. I think that it's a culture of a certain individual that's allowed to have that outlook. It's allowed to have it. You know, if you think you can go away and go on the whiz and not come back, then something's wrong with what you're being told. And if you think you can walk around like impending doom and not put shift in,
decision making. But sometimes I think you see now footballers walk around with an invisible cloak on. You know, it's like I'm here, but I'm not here. You know, nobody sees me. But we're living in a world where mobile phones is everything. You know, so everything can be captured, everything can be reported about. And I know times in my experience where Sir Alex knew about every player, where he was at that moment in time, and sometimes he would test you with that, and he would, you know, Sir Alex as a person and as a human being, and being the manager of Man United, loads of people were quite happy to phone Sir Alex and tell them, just for a conversation. But I saw so-and-so out last night, and so he dealt with that. Nowadays, I think we go around, you know, with this invisible cloak, thinking that we can do what we like when we like, but you know, you're an athlete now. It's, you know.
I also think they're given too much. I mean, I watch people's reaction to them. They're footballers, highly paid footballers. That's all they are. And I watch them come into auditoriums, and it's like the king's arrived. And I think sometimes some of these boys, it's very difficult for them to remind themselves of the real world and to get themselves grounded back into the reality of be good at your job, be good at what you do, and they lose that context. And I don't know about Marcus and Rashford as a personality. Obviously, he's attributed to some charitable stuff. I think the best thing that can happen for Marcus Rashford is a change of football club.
I think, Simon, also, in my day, you earned what you got, and it usually came towards the end. It was more of a build-up. And it used to be, you're ambitious and you're young, and you play for nothing. You play for nothing, and then incrementally, you got rewarded for what you put out on the field. And nowadays, it is different. I'm not complaining about it. It's just a moment that it happens before you've earned it in some respects.
Yeah,
and I think that changes a mentality. And it appeals to some, but you actually are losing a bit of touch with reality from the point of view of a supporter. I remember one instance. I'll give you a story, and I knew the game was changing here. One day I'm sitting in my office, the car park's outside of my building. I see this Rolls Royce come onto the car park, and I'm going, wow, that's different. And I see David Beckham get out of it. Now I'm thinking, that's a different one. There's a lot of good cars on the car park, but this is a Rolls Royce. Go up into the canteen, I'm having my breakfast. He comes along, he sits down. I'm having my fried eggs and my bacon and my sausage and all that. And he comes in, sits down with his muesli. And then I just ask him, what's with the Rolls Royce? And he said, Mick, everybody's got to have a family car. And I'm wow. That's unreal. And I knew that moment the game was starting to change.
Right. It's changed. Mick, I love it. Before you go, Mr. Phelan, many people asking me, Simon and I are about to chat to Simon Hallett, the owner of Plymouth Argyle. Would Mick say yes to Wayne Rooney if he asked him to go in as his number 2 to Plymouth?
Yeah, I probably would, yeah. Yeah, Wayne's got a big job on his hands, He's experienced quite a lot in a short space of time, Wayne.
Yeah.
So I wish him well, because I think he's obviously got the desire to carry on going. He could have walked away from, he can walk away from it if he wants.
Sure.
But I think he's got an approach and an attitude that he wants to prove people wrong.
Mick Phelan, absolutely excellent. Great having you in here at last.
It's been good to get along, having the time to get along.
Yeah.
And meeting Simon, I've heard a lot about him.
Oh yeah.
I know you well enough.
Yeah,
so
sure.
So yeah, let's do it again sometime.
Brilliant.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.